All right, hey everybody, happy Wednesday and hello WS family. It's your girl Alexis. If you don't know me, hello and welcome. And I'm not sure where everybody's watching this because I post this on all social media. So please like, share, follow, subscribe, especially if you're watching this on our YouTube channel under Wiz Event Services. We thank you for everybody for the support. Now, I'm coming on here today because we have a hot topic for you guys. Something that is currently going on right now, not just within my business, but with a lot of people right now due to this snowstorm. So this snowstorm is really affecting a lot of people, especially because, a lot of people have events this weekend. We actually had our first event starting tomorrow when the snowstorm is about, supposed to come in. So we have a client here and, this client has planned this event months in advance. So, we was already prepared for what was going to happen for this weekend, of course. They got bartending services and decor services. So we were starting off this year. We already knew it with the bang, but unforeseen circumstances happened, which is affecting all of Georgia, as we see. And this snowstorm, as they're predicting, is supposed to be one of the worst snowstorms that we are going to get since we had our last one that shut the whole city down, right? So with all of that being said, again, it was a lot of decision making. And like I told you guys, I want to be a lot more transparent with you all to really know exactly, what we do really behind the scenes, these day-to-day decisions that we have to make. And this one is a real, stretch headbanger here kind of decision, because of course it is out of a lot of people's control right now, because we really don't know how bad it's going to look. And just knowing how Georgia, weather goes, it hit or miss. They predict it and hype it up, and it turns out to be, you may not get nothing in your area. So we just don't know. So of course we are watching the weather heavily every single day, every single chance that we are, that we are getting, just to see, how it's going to turn out. But we won't know until the day of course. So, of course we are talking to the client, making sure we are all on the same page, trying to see what this client is going to do in regards to their event. Now, trying to be understanding in a point of what the client is still wanting and still, have their needs that they are really wanting to still go through with it. Of course, you have to respect decisions and you have to understand where they're coming from. But you as an individual and as a company also have to do what's best for your company, and it's for you or your team or, whatever the case may be. So for us, and I will speak more for me and the decision I have to make, because this is going to be some story time, y'all. So like I said, when we knew it was coming, we have had conversations with the client just to see which direction they wanted to go. Now, what was really holding the client back was, from rescheduling the event, was really the catering. The caterer was basically not really being considerate, not really giving them too many options when it came to rescheduling the event, or due to these unforeseen circumstances that is out of their control. So the caterer didn't have in their contract, for an event like this to happen. So all the caterer's suggestion was for the client was they'll give them the food, they can freeze it and do what they want with it, but that's about all they're able to do. Very unfortunate, just to say, because, to a client who's paying a lot of money, especially, for the food, they're looking at it like, well, hey, it's not like I'm basically telling you we can't do it because I'm canceling an event all in all. We just can't do it because I don't want to hold anybody liable to come out here in these kind of circumstances, right? But, the caterer obviously was not budging to change their mind, and, it made a hard decision on our client. So with the client not really wanting to lose their money, which is all understandable. We also had to come and have to make a decision to say, okay, well, I don't want to be out here in these kind of conditions neither, and even if it was one of my staff members, I wouldn't put them out here in these conditions. Again, we really don't know exactly how this is all going to play out, but we are taking heed and we're taking warning. And, again, like we were saying to the client, it's not the snow. And due to the fact that the client event starts later on in the day, it's the ice, because it's supposed to be raining and all this mix. And once the temperature drops, it freezes and you get black ice. And then where the event is located, it's a lot of different back roads that you're going to be taking, and just trying to get to your destination plus get back home. I personally don't think, that is safe at all. And then for myself, we were doing bartending. So first and foremost, I was not comfortable of serving guests alcohol, drinking, especially when those conditions are possible to be going on. I will be held liable to be feeding a client and their guests drinks and sending them out there in these kind of conditions, and as well putting myself out there in these kind of conditions, and hoping that everybody gets home safely. I just couldn't live with that within my conscience at all. So, of course, expressing all these concerns to the client understood, was very understandable. In these last couple of days, I just think that because of money, and this is just my opinion, the client just still wants to go through with the event. So I had to make a judgment call, because really, I'm not gonna lie, guys, this was a very emotional judgment call for me, because of course this was our first event for the year. We have been talking to this client for months. So, when you build a rapport with a client, you gain that relationship, and basically you want to show up and actually celebrate with them, do the job, do the service. You don't want to refund money. You don't want to cancel on a client. You want to make sure that you're able to come through to the client by any means necessary at this point. So it was a really tough, back and forth for me, because I was just like, look, I really want to be there. I want to celebrate. The client. I really want to make sure this happens for them. But at the same time, I had to think about my safety. I had to think about, the kind of vehicle that I drive. I have an older vehicle. And I also have to just think about, other people's safety as well. Me being liable to be feeding guests drinks or whatever the case may be behind this bar, being out here late. The event ends at 11 p.m. Who knows how it's going to look by then? All we know, they keep saying the roads are going to basically have ice on it. And I truly don't want to be caught out there or stuck. That was my decision. So, of course, I am a praying woman, y'all. I pray. So, when we had our meeting with the client yesterday, after that, I prayed. But my spirit was already unsettled. I was very uncomfortable. Okay, today, I woke up. It was still unsettled. I prayed again. And then my spirit was so strong, it was just like, we don't need to be out there. We just don't need to do that. So I told the client my thoughts, my concerns, where I was at, because one thing about it was I didn't want to basically tell the client the day of, and they're expecting me, and I tell them a couple hours. It's just a whole ordeal. And especially if they still wanted to go through with it. No, I want you to know exactly where my mindset is at. You already know how I'm feeling like today. And you can go about it however you want to go about it. Spoke with the client understood, but still their mindset was, well, look, I still need the bartender to come out either way. So getting to contractual agreements and refunds and all that. So in our contract, we do have, especially since COVID happened, an unforeseen circumstance clause in our contract. Now, one thing about it, especially if we're canceling on you because, right now it's because of unforeseen circumstances and safety, we'll go ahead and refund you that 50% remaining balance that you paid. I don't have no problem doing that because we're canceling and it's due to the unforeseen circumstances. And then I told the client, look, if nothing happens, like we don't get any snow or ice or whatever, it doesn't do anything over here in our area, I will be there with bells and whistles on. We gonna celebrate. We gonna be there and doggone turn up for you. Like, I made that clear because, at the end of the day, I'm here. I really want, us to be there and be able to do the service that you are wanting and that you paid for. Now, early in the day, again, I don't mind the snow. I'll drop off the chasers, the mixers. We could set it up. Client was okay with that, but still, they want a bartender. And if they find one, they want their refund. No problem. It was really a lot, like I said, emotionally, because in all honesty, it's January, y'all. We coming off of Christmas, off of these holidays. Money has been spent. Was really looking forward to making some extra money because, like, if y'all don't know, for those who don't know and those, who do know, this is my solely how I make my money. So this right here was something that definitely took a toll on me because it was hard. It was hard to really come and say and accept that, okay, I'm going to have to refund money. I'm going to have to, I'm losing money and I don't know what's going to happen in this situation, knowing, we got bills still coming up that's due in a couple of weeks, So that's what's in my head. But also, again, like I said, I'm a praying woman. My faith is strong. And at the end of the day, I know God got me. He got us, and we gonna be okay. Another door will open, but I need to stay strong on my faith and listen to my spirit. And that's one thing I was battling. My flesh and my spirit. We was battling. We was battling, but I had to stay strong with it. Now, the decision has not been made with the client just yet because the client is currently still looking for a bartender to attend and be there for their party tomorrow. Now, whichever route they decide to go, I solely support it and I stand by what I'm going to do and honor that. But I wanted to do this video and just let you guys know because a lot of you guys are having to make tough calls right now to do when you have, you have clients right now that, hey, it may not hit this area or wherever the case may be, and you're having to make those tough calls. I just say follow your instinct, follow your gut, follow your spirit. If you truly feel like, hey, I don't think it's a great idea, stick with that. We are at the beginning of the year. This don't make the year, all right? It's just a little bump in the road, and it's okay. We gonna continue to push for the remaining of the year. I just want to share that with you all because, these are different decisions that we have to make, and I want to tell all, vendors out there, especially within this industry, please have a clause in your contract. An unforeseen circumstances clause, a cancellation clause. You can do that, ChatGPT it, and it will create it for you, add it to your contract so you can make sure you're covered. And by all means, for different things that happens, because unforeseen circumstances doesn't have to always be weather, doesn't have to be a COVID virus, whatever. I mean, it can be a client or you, for instance, it could be a death in the family, a fire happened, whatever. Something could have happened and it's just out of your control. So make sure you have that in your contracts because that is really important. And then 2, guys, I want everybody to be safe. I want everybody, for me, I had to think about my safety, myself, and then I'm a mother. So how it went for me and my decision, my safety, my kids, my family. 3 things, top 3, nothing else. Money was not in there. Money was not the equation. So really make the decision of what's truly important to you and what's going to work out best for you. That's the advice I want to give everybody today because I know a lot of people are really just going through this little rough patch at this time for these events this weekend, and just make the best decision and best call for y'all. But I wanted to share this. I will let you guys know and keep you posted on what the client's going to do. Okay, so the final judgment call for the client, they went on ahead and found another bartending services. So we just did our first refund ever. Woo! January 2025, right? But yes, we just did our first refund ever, and we went ahead and did that. We're about to go ahead and meet the client to get them their chasers and mixers for their event tomorrow. But I wanted to just let you guys know that was the final judgment call. So we will be home safe in our residence, and we just pray over everybody who will be out in this snowstorm tomorrow. Please be safe.